You may begin.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure to welcome you all into this session as part of the 13th International Conference for Teachers of English 2023. Thank you for your participation. Today, I have the honor to introduce Anastasiia Nikuelenko. I hope I pronounced the name well. Anastasiia Nikuelenko is director of the Foreign Language Training Center at ITMO University. She graduated from Vitebsk State University, Belarus, and has worked in different educational institutions in Belarus and Russia. Anastasiia has been teaching foreign languages, English and German, for 22 years already and has experience in teaching different groups of students, from very young learners to mature grown-ups. Anastasiia has been involved into academic management for 15 years. She is an ELT and EMI teacher trainer. Please enjoy the session, Digital Teachers, Challenges for Professional Development. With you, Anastasiia Nikuelenko, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Leila. I hope you can hear me well. And I would like to share my screen with everyone. Yeah, it's possible. I can do it. Well, dear colleagues, I'm Anastasiia. And as Leila introduced me, I'm director of the Foreign Language Training Center. I'm an English teacher and I'm a teacher trainer. And today, in my talk and my presentation, I would like to discuss with you some aspects of teachers' professional development that have become extremely important in the pandemic era. And they haven't lost their importance after we moved back to our traditional classrooms in the post-pandemic era. And the topic is digitalization of the language learning and how it affects professional development of ELT teachers. Digitalization in general and online learning in particular have always been a more or less natural part of learning and teaching languages. It doesn't mean that before the pandemic situation, digital or online learning of languages didn't exist at all. It did. But the pandemic situation highlighted some aspects of online learning that we as teachers were not probably properly prepared for. And when I say that digital or online learning have always been a natural or more or less natural part of the learning and teaching process, I also mean that it depends on your teaching environment, it depends on your attitude, and it depends on how much of online learning you allow in your classroom. And we all can admit, anyway, I think we all can admit that online learning is the reality that changed our teaching habits. It changed our teaching environment, and it changed our expectations a lot. And we, as language teachers, we need to be prepared for new challenges that we face in this area, and we face every day when we enter the classroom, maybe online or offline classroom. Well, the question that I would like to raise in my presentation and in my talk are the following. I must say that my presentation is an invitation to reflect on your own experience, is an attempt to reflect on what areas of professional development should be covered by teachers so that they are able to teach effectively, and how much of online learning should be in focus for the teacher, and how much or how many aspects of the professional development belong to the online teaching and online learning. So back to the questions that I announced. The questions are the following. Well, the first is, why do language teachers need to be digitally proficient? Such a simple question, and it should have obvious answers. Everyone knows why teachers, not only language teachers, should be digitally proficient. Let's have a look at some ideas and on some aspects of this question. The second question, topic, area is what are the necessary superpowers, competences for a digital teacher and language teacher in particular, and how digitally proficient shall the language teachers be? Where is the limit? Well, we always know that sky is the limit, but still, where is the limit for a language teacher? Where is the limit of the proficiency and digital proficiency, and how much shall we devote in our professional development to those aspects? As I say, this is an invitation to reflect on your own experience. And I will be happy if you have some questions to discuss. We'll have some space at the end of the presentation for it. Well, when we speak about digital proficiency, what is actually digital proficiency? Well, it is the ability to use technology, and this is the ability to work with information on different stages and different forms of the work with the information, including finding the information, assessing the information, generate the information, communicate it. And this is the ability and the skill to use technology and work with information. But shall we show the difference between literacy and proficiency? I think yes. So literacy and proficiency, they are still a bit different. And I would say that literacy and proficiency, they show different stages, or they indicate different stages of our engagement into the digital teaching. I explain what I mean. When we speak about literacy, it's more the foundation, the foundation level in terms of digital proficiency. It means the first steps that we make in digital or online teaching that allow us to start working with the students. And digital proficiency, it's something that shows how effectively we apply the skill of working with technology and with information. And digital proficiency actually shows not only what we know about the online learning, but how effectively we can apply and use it in our classrooms. Well, why shall language teachers be digitally proficient? As I said, the very simple question with very obvious answers, but still let's have a look at some ideas and a list of reasons for a language teacher to be digitally proficient. First of all, and I think it's the main idea, that we all, language teachers or teachers of all other subjects and different areas. We need to be digitally proficient for our students and because of our students. Because of those who we see every day in our classroom, physical offline classroom or online classroom. So we need to be digital proficient for our students and because of our students. So this is a quotation that says that if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. Our students are changing. And actually, we live in the time when the changes happen rapidly. The trends, the changes in education are really changing very quickly. And our students, they are digital natives. While we language teachers, and not only language teachers, but since we talk about language education, I will use this combination, language teachers. We might still be not language natives, but digital immigrants. So students are digital natives, we might still be digital immigrants. And that's why we need to keep up with our students and with the expectations from the education. And I made my list of the reasons that show why language teachers shall be digitally proficient. And I believe that you all can make this list longer. And from your experience and from your expectations from your teaching, you can find some more reasons that make or that force the teachers to be digitally proficient. Well, as I mentioned that before, we need to meet students' expectations. And today, our students expect the language learning experience to be interactive, engaging, technologically advanced, and we, language teachers, can meet the expectations and provide a more effective and enjoyable learning environment for our students. One more reason for language teachers to be digitally proficient is the access to resources. Well, it goes without saying that online tools and digital tools provide language teachers with a vast array of materials, such as online books, so-called libraries, sets of resources, language learning apps, and everything possible. The digital proficiency gives the teacher more teaching opportunities. It makes the learning audience wider, much wider than you could have probably in your offline classroom. The digital proficiency allows collaboration and communication with your colleagues, with the students, sharing the ideas, sharing the experience, and making your teaching process and the learning process of your students more enjoyable, and allows you to get more possibilities and new ideas for your classroom and for your course. Digital proficiency allows teachers to make the learning process of the students more personalized. And it's not only about the students, it makes a more personalized learning for teachers who get new experience, who get new knowledge, and who work on the professional development. And the last reason that is listed by me, but as I say, your list can be much longer. Digital proficiency allows us to keep up with our students, with the new trends, with all new things that happen in the area of language teachers. And well, the teachers should be digitally proficient, but how digitally proficient shall language teachers be? What shall be included? Yeah, I would say what shall be included into the professional development to enhance digital proficiency depends on the needs of the teacher and the teaching environment. So it depends on your needs and on your teaching environment. To illustrate this idea, I would share my experience and the experience of the team of teachers I work with. And I'm sure that you will find this experience very similar to you, and the situation that I will describe to show how the proficiency depends on the environment and on the teacher's need. You will recognize this situation. Many of you will probably recognize this situation. Well, at the time when we all suddenly became locked behind our computers at homes, we faced this situation. Most of us faced the situation when we needed to organize the learning and teaching process online very quickly without being properly prepared for it. And we had to learn to use some technology really very quickly. We had to learn how to organize online face-to-face lessons, or we had with digital tools, how to give students enough information to work with. So all the necessary things that allowed us to start the learning process in a new environment, in the new form, an online format. So on this stage, we actually created and learned how to use a so-called survival kit. It seemed that at that time, we all breathed in and forgot to breathe out. The main aim on this stage was to show the students, like, hi, we're here, we're still connected, nobody is lost, and we all see you, and we start our classes, but in a new format, and we all learn how to work with it. And I call this period the survival kit. It means that on this stage, we really need to learn how to work with the technology in a very simple way. I mean, how to start the lesson, how to work with the students in breakout rooms, how to invite students, how to use chats, for example, in Zoom or in Discord or any other platform to organize the sharing of information and the invitation and talks with the students. That was the survival kit period. And that's something that teachers who started teaching online needed to learn. After a certain period of time, when we all, as I said, could breathe out, we actually started working on the effectiveness of using this technology. It's not just the very simple steps, but we could think of how we can use the technology and tools in a more effective way. And the workshops, meetings, and training sessions changed the focus. So all the workshops, all trainings that we had with the teachers at that period of time and on the second stage, they changed the focus, and we learned how to organize lessons in a more effective way. How to get the best from the activities that we can do with the students online. How to engage students to the maximum. And we learn more about the online classroom management. And this actually is the natural step of professional development when we made certain steps to digital proficiency. So it's not just about starting the session, it's about how to make this session, how to make this online lesson more effective for the students and for the teachers also. So I will call this stage online classroom management, and it is much closer to the digital proficiency than the survival kit stage. Well, after we were allowed to move back to our offline classrooms, the online teaching and learning did not disappear, definitely. And the next step for some teachers was the online pedagogy. We thought how we could use the advantages of digital learning and create the online courses for students as a support for the offline classes. And for some students, it became the main course when they couldn't attend the classes offline. The survival kit and online classroom management, they are good. Every teacher can effectively work with the students, but some teachers wanted to have the advanced level of the professional development. And this level I call online pedagogy, as I said. And coming to this level of professional development involved a lot of research, a lot of trainings on online materials design, course design, on everything that can make online courses and online teaching effective for the students, as it has the or it follows the main principle of online teaching. It's not just like bringing all the students into the classroom, use some activities with them, but make the whole course on the principles of online pedagogy. So these are the stages that we language teachers lived through during the pandemic era and after the pandemic situation finished. And these stages actually show different stages of professional development and different needs for professional development for the teachers. Well, so how digital proficient shall the language teacher be depends on how ambitious towards digital teaching the teacher is. And how much is required in the teaching environment, in your personal teaching environment, and how much is required from you as a teacher in the circumstances you work in. Everyone will definitely need a survival kit. And every teacher will have more effective lessons if you learn how to manage the specific online courses. And on the third stage, if you are interested in designing online courses, and if you follow this direction, the professional development, you will definitely help your colleagues in their work. If you create the course and share your experience and teach your colleagues how to work with the course. We all, as teachers, have our superpowers. And definitely there are some superpowers that belong to digital teachers and digital language teacher. I suggest my list of superpowers. And I always say that the list of a presenter is not long enough, or might be not long enough, and you can always make your own list and add your ideas to the list. But I would like to focus on the competencies or superpowers for digital teacher that make the work effective, or those that should definitely be in the set of the competences of any language teacher, and those that show the main division directions for the professional development of the teacher who wants to be or become a digital teacher. Well, as I mentioned before, digital literacy, one of the superpowers, or the first superpower that every digital teacher should have. And the teacher should be proficient in using technology tools, platforms for teaching and learning. So it goes without saying. The next step is pedagogical knowledge. So it comes from the previous slide that showed that the pedagogical knowledge is something that is on the advanced level of professional development. And pedagogical knowledge, it's not only for creating new courses, and is not always the highest or the most advanced level for digital teaching. A digital teacher, any language teacher who works online or who applies digital technologies or online learning in the classroom should understand the principles of online pedagogy, and how to, not only online pedagogy, just the pedagogical principles, and apply it to the digital teaching. The next say superpower, or the next thing that digital teachers should possess is adaptability. A digital teacher, any other teacher, should be able to adapt to new technologies and teaching methods as they emerge. And the digital teacher should be able to work with the information about new technologies, new trends, new things that arise in the digital teaching or in language teaching in general, and should be able to adapt the technology, or should be able to understand if it is necessary to adapt this technology in the online learning. Communication skills, they're necessary for anyone, regardless of the format of teaching, online or offline teaching, but communication skills are probably or get more significance in digital teaching or in online work with the students and teachers, as we cannot have face-to-face meetings, and the technology makes it on the one hand easier, on the other hand it still ruins the atmosphere of face-to-face communication. And in any way, a digital teacher should be able to communicate effectively with students, parents, colleagues, administration, using digital communication tools. And the next superpower is creativity. So it's nothing absolutely new for a digital teacher. It's something that belongs to superpowers of any teacher, competencies, necessary competencies of any teacher. Critical thinking. Again, it's is not something necessarily new or something darningly new for online teaching or for digital teacher, but critical thinking helps us as teachers understand and evaluate the effectiveness of the digital tools, of technologies, of platforms, of activities that we bring into the online classroom, and it helps us make a decision on the necessity of using the technology in certain periods of our teaching. And the seventh skill or competency or superpower that I would like to discuss is the collaborative skill. It probably comes closer, is somewhere close to communication skills. But collaborative skills show that the digital teacher should be able to work with the colleagues in a team when it's not always possible to meet face-to-face in the offline environment. Still, the digital teacher should have the superpower to be able to work with the colleagues, share the ideas, and make the work of the team also possible while creating a course or working on the lesson plans, and so on and so on. So any kind of collaborative work should involve collaborative skills from the teachers. So this is my list of digital teacher superpowers, competencies, and as I said, you're always welcome to make your own list, to make it longer, or probably to make it shorter. It's also possible. All the areas, all the competencies, all the things that the teachers think they need to develop for their career, for their professional development, they depend on really the teacher's attitude and the teacher's vision of the necessity of digital teaching, online teaching in the classroom. It goes without saying that professional development is the necessary part of the teacher's career. So we learn every day. We never stop. We always find something new for our work, for our students and teachers. And if we stop, it means that we may not probably keep up with our students and with our colleagues. As I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, and I will repeat it, so we really live in the time when all changes happen rapidly. And we always stick to the new things that we need to adapt for our professional development. But it also happens that there might be things, or I would say, they're not problems, but challenges for our professional development that may probably make it less effective, or they probably make it impossible sometimes for the teacher. And these are the same reasons or the same challenges as for any teacher that make the professional development of digital teacher also more challenging. And at the end of my presentation, at the end of my talk, I would also like to share the challenges that I experienced in my career as a teacher that made professional development I'd say more challenging or less enjoyable probably. And this is the list that was made also from the experience of my colleagues who shared that with me. And as a teacher trainer, I also face such things during the trainings, while teachers also share the ideas. So, and the challenges that make the professional development probably less enjoyable or less effective for the digital teacher are the following. So I made the whole list here, and just to talk, I would like to talk a little bit about each of them. So lack of time. This is something that every teacher experiences. Lack of time that prevents us from doing something more for us, to learn something or to spend more time on research, on doing new things. And together with the lack of time comes balancing multiple responsibilities. We have a lack of time because of we as teachers need to balance our work and really many responsibilities that we have as teachers. And sometimes it seems that it is very difficult to find time to learn something new. And very quickly, we just come back to the survival kit or to the online classroom management stage when we just need to manage a proper level of our classes. So limited resources that make also it a little bit difficult for the teachers to learn something new or to get new experience. Limited support from the administration, which is also a challenge for many teachers. Lack of collaboration, again, limited support, limited resources, lack of time, make it collaboration a little bit less possible for the teachers. And the last thing that I would like to say, it's techno-zoo. When teachers learn a lot about different tools, a lot about different technologies, and want to apply everything at one time in the classroom, and it becomes like a technological zoo for the students and for the teachers. And sometimes technologies, new tools, new activities just make us a techno-zoo keeper when we try to work with everything that we learned. So these were the challenges. It's probably not a good idea to finish with the challenges and with negative things, but they are not negative. The challenges, they are not problems. The challenges is something that we can use in the best way, something that we can turn to advantages. And at the end of my talk, my presentation, I would like to show you the picture of the 21st century teacher who is a digital teacher. And he might be not happy about so many things that happened around him, but still this is something that makes our teaching reality. And the main thing that we as digital teachers should learn is how to balance all the things to make it effective for our students and for us as teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now I want to know if the attendees have any question. All right, so we really appreciate your presentation, Digital Teacher Challenges for Professional Development. Thank you for being with us, Director Anastasiia Nikuelenko. Thanks again to the participants, and I'd invite you to go back to the Sway link in order to access the following sessions.
Thanks a lot for participation.